Got a fire in my soul, yeah, it's burning bright. Guy band, he told me just to follow the light. Well, I heard the people singing with all their might. So I hit the ground running, and I ran all night. And we sang, run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Well, I ran into my family, and I ran into my friends, and I ran into people that I didn't know then. And I said to them, hey, I could use a hand. And then I ran and I ran, and I ran and I ran. And we sang, run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. They say it's dangerous out there, but not if we're all here. If we're together, we can run without fear. They say it's dangerous out there, but not if we're all here. If we're together, we can run without fear. Well, the children and the elders and the strangers and the neighbors and the doctors and the teachers and the farmers and the bakers and the scientists and builders and the singers and the players and the buskers and the dancers and the dreamers and the painters and the coaches and the helpers and the artists and creators and the yogis and the healers and the preachers and the changers and the people and the planet and the forests and the rivers and the mountains and the oceans and the future and the vision. And the buskers and the patience and the future and the vision. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run.
Yeah. Good vibes, all my beautiful people. Good morning, good vibes coming up on Wednesday like a hot cake, man. Here we are, brother. Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
Got it going on. Hump day.
Yeah, hump day. You got it.
I'll have to remind my wife. Oh, no, never mind. No.
You got to put that on the calendar.
I was thinking something. I was thinking something else. But anyway, good morning, good vibes, everybody. Good to have everybody here. Always good vibes with God and Shine, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. It's Wednesday, getting this week behind us. Got a little rain here where I'm at, and been kind of muggy, but the rain kind of comes with the heat. You know what I mean? It gets hot, works up a thunderstorm. You got to deal with it a little bit. Only bad part is grass. Grass loves rain and sunshine, and it
grows.
And then you have to try to figure out how to love the heat, and in between the rain, get your yard mowed because you wind up with a hay field, man. But I don't mind hayfields. I like hayfields.
I don't know.
My yard's starting to look like the prairie. Like, hey,
Just bale that
just,
hay.
I tell
Just
my
let it
neighbors,
grow.
it's how I like to do it.
Yeah. It's my
I'm a
choice, my life.
minimalist. I'm a minimalist. You can
Oh,
look
man.
around my house and see that by the weed eating that I'm a minimalist. Like, no question. It's like, yeah, he does it minimal that he is. It's like he did just enough to keep his wife from being like, I can't get to the front door.
There's some guys that go the other way, which is like measuring every blade after they cut it. Like we have a few of those guys around here. And
I got a neighbor.
I
got a neighbor.
walked and I stopped and I was watching him for 15 minutes just measure all across the yard.
Hey,
I'm like, you are an ambitious man and I commend you for it.
I told my wife when we first moved up here, I was like, I ain't even gonna start trying to get in a pissing contest with our neighbor Robert about yard. You know how neighborhoods will do, like his yard.
Oh,
They
yeah.
got theirs. I was like, I don't give a flying crap. He can throw the stuff out of his yard over in ours for all I care, but I ain't trying to keep up with him.
No.
There ain't no way, dude, because he's one of them people, man, that. Like, I've seen him out there in his cover. It was still cold enough to have coveralls on. Riding along. I'm like, and that stuff could wait, bro. Like,
You gotta get an early start. You gotta aerate the grass.
Dude,
Oh,
I'll
no.
show y'all. I'll take y'all out there one time. I'll do the thing where I can move. Take my phone with me. I'll go show y'all. I ain't bullshitting. It's so nice that it's like it makes me not like him. It's like you make our place look so bad. If you would just stop for a week, like I would start feeling good again. But
Yeah.
man, there's no way you can keep up with that old dude. But he's one of them old guys that I respect the hell out of him. I mean, I really do. He's my neighbor and he's a good guy. And I know if I really needed help with something, he would certainly help. And he's been my wife's parents' neighbor. They've been living up here for over 30 years, so they've been neighbors for that long. Oh, he's a good dude, but man, just a little bit obsessive about the yard. But it's not just his yard. It's like it's his cars.
Yeah.
It's his house. Like, hey, when we would have like Christmas Eves over here back when I used to drink, when me and Courtney first few years we got married, well, Robert would come down and have dinner with us and everything, hang out. Because his kids are grown. Him and his wife have been divorced for a long time, and he's with somebody. Anyway, he don't have no little kids and stuff. And this was when our son was little, and Robert enjoyed watching them open gifts and just hanging out with everybody, whatever.
Yeah.
But we go up there to sneak us a shot of liquor because he was a liquor drinker. He drank Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if a man offers you a drink, I don't like to. But then once I found out I had to take my boots off, and then once he seen that my socks looked worse than the bottoms of my boots, I didn't get asked too often to go back in. I wasn't upset about it because I didn't like all that routine. Like just to walk in his house, bro, them shoes got to come off. And then like my wife knows how I am. Like I don't try to come in just stomping mud. But bro, I get started thinking about you. The last thing I'm thinking about is pulling my shoes off as I walk through the door.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm that
Once you're
dude.
you're on. You know what
And
I mean?
it's floating floor anyway. That's why the hell we put it in there so you can wipe it up. If something gets on you, wipe it off. You don't have it's not carpet. So, but man, you go into that. And his son, we used to ginseng together. His son told me, he said, man, obviously I love my dad, but I do not, as a kid and everything. He said, if you just went and got a cookie, you better have a napkin underneath that cookie. Even if you were just going to eat the cookie, you better get a napkin, get the cookie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and I know he ain't bull crapping because, dude,
no.
Man, his house,
my mom
like
was
he's got
like
one of
that.
those houses when you go in, bro, you don't feel comfortable.
Because it's so clean.
Perfect. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, I'll mess this up. Give me a second. Let me
yeah.
show you how to mess this up.
It's like you set a cup down at my mom's place, and like,
you better have a coaster.
You can feel it like a heat beaming missile in the neck, and she'll be over with the swish of a cloth coaster down, and then like sweeping around you and stuff. It's like, Mom, take a break. Take a break.
Yes. But
Take
at
a
the
break.
same token, I got to give him his
Yeah.
dues. But I mean, he would come. Now my house is, my house is a home that's lived in, and we've had a son that it's his home too, and toys and stuff and now fishing gear and things like that is a part of our makeup. And we're not perfect as far as like every little thing is in play. Just not the way my wife is, nor myself. So, but he'll come over to your and be just as comfortable, and you don't feel like he's judging you or not. It's just at his place.
Yeah, that's how he wants it. Yeah.
It's how, and his cars, dude. He's got a truck up there.
Yeah.
Well, now he traded that truck and he's got another. But I guarantee that truck he had for 2 years probably looked like it just rolled off of the. Like his truck, when I say truck, there was no reason for this man to have a truck because there wasn't nothing going in it but his hind end and Miss Connie's hind end. There wasn't. It ain't like he was hauling. It ain't like it was like my truck. I'll throw anything that'll fit in it that it'll pull down the road.
I thought
that's
what trucks were for.
You know? Yeah. If it ain't got something in the bed of it, then you ain't doing nothing with it, man. You know. So. But yeah, he's just that way. But I don't look down on him or nothing. He knows that man, there's no way I'm not coming over to your house and hang out. I'll come over maybe to the garage and
stand outside the back window and talk to you through it.
Yeah, because I'll mess something up, and he knows I will, and it won't be on purpose. It's just that's the way guy's world turns, man. That's just the way it is.
Whatever works for you, you know what I mean? Like it's I get it. I've known people from both walks of life on the extreme side of that.
Yeah.
You know, if it works for you and you got no problem hanging out, then that's fine. You know,
that's right. That's
I got no issue.
Now I got some of my buddies that it leans more towards filth. Not dirt.
Like
y'all
when you got to shoulder the door to get into your buddy's house because you ain't taking trash out. Like
it's like it looks to me like that plate might could have been washed 2 weeks ago.
What are you talking about? It's good for another 3 days. It's like,
but at the same time, when you're in somebody else's home, it's like I don't care. I don't give a flying crap how y'all want to live. I mean, you know, I go to see the people. I don't go to look at their house. You know what I mean? I don't care about what kind. I've been a part of building some fine homes, and it doesn't make them people any different to me. They got to put their britches on the same way I do. It's like I don't care. It don't matter to me about the house. It's how good the people are. It's in it that makes it. So
that's it.
But let me get over here in the comments. We got Brother Desi, man. Shout out to Brother Desi, just an outstanding member of the community and a buddy, a guy in Shine and creating change and Shine Dig. So, man, we just appreciate you. And we got Brother Clint, Gen X Effect in the house. Shout out to you. Appreciate you being here, man. Always good vibes and just solid. Man, we've got a solid community, bro. We got Miss Amina in the house. Let's see. My best guitar student, I must say.
Yeah. Boats and hoes. Did you catch both of them? Me and Guy didn't know we were dressing together.
Yeah.
If you know this reference, Scotchy, Scotchy, Scotch, yum, 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 down into my belly. Yeah. Also, another, if you catch it, you catch it.
Yeah. It's so
Prestige
great.
Worldwide. Wide.
Did we just become best friends?
I think so.
Dude, I loved them, man. They were so ignorant, and it just made me feel so much better about myself that I was like, okay, it's okay to be that way. It's okay. Scotchy. Yay!
I love you, Baxter.
I love you, Baxter.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany, leather-bound books, and of course my friend Baxter here.
They're so ignorant. I love them, but man, they're a perfect dude, man.
Oh, they're
Will
great.
Ferrell and
John C. Reilly.
Riley, dude. That's man.
That
and you know
Talladega Nights too, man. Like they were.
Talladega Nights was silly, but do you remember that movie Perfect Storm?
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing him in that, and that was like the first time that I'd really like paid attention to him. But he was so serious and like so. Like a, on point kind of dude in that movie, trying to get his son and trying to see his boy and work hard and all this and not. But then to see him in Step Brothers and the way that it was like,
that's a discussion I was having with my wife on the weekend because we watched Talladega Nights with my son, and he's like, "What is wrong with him, Dad?" I'm like, "Well, some people are raised different." And then at the end it explains, like, it's his dad and all this and the other thing. But I was talking about John C. Riley, and I said, man, he's a well-versed actor. Like, he's been
He
in some
is.
really good movies. Like that
Yes,
Civil
he had,
War
and
movie he
totally
was in.
different stuff, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
Yep.
he can play all sorts of characters, and like you're like, wow, like that's quite a shift, especially if you know them just from the comedy side, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
cool.
Because they're just so ignorant that it's perfect.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just for me, that's the kind of humor. I guess that's why I liked all the Ace Ventura movies back in the day.
Great
You know what I
Canadian
mean?
man. Yeah, great
They're
Canadian.
just so stupid that it
Yeah.
was like, I do that stuff. I thought everybody did
That
that.
guy had a hardcore story, Jim Carrey, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude.
Like
Yeah, dude.
I watched the documentary on him, and like
Yep.
his early years there, like again something with his dad falling out around 14. And he
Yep.
was homeless, living in cars, like trying to do stand-up in Toronto, man. Like,
Yeah, man.
you know. And anyway, he pushed through and he made it. But one of the coolest things I think I ever heard him say was before he got like a contract, like because he was trying to get a movie, and he wrote himself a check for $1 million, right? And he tucked that in his pocket, and then he got the call for Ace Ventura, and he got paid $1 million to do the first one, right? Cool story, man.
That is a cool story. That's faith.
Yep. Yep.
That's faith, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, and I love stories of that because you have to believe in you. You
Oh, yeah.
have to
Yep.
believe in you, not
Yep.
one other soul.
No.
Now, it's always nice to have people say, "Oh, you're doing good, Sean," or "You're doing good,
Yep.
guy. You're doing," but
Mhm.
if you don't equally believe in yourself and give yourself your props when it's not, I'm not saying don't be humble. I'm just saying recognize your growth, recognize your experience, recognize your wisdom,
Yeah.
and you know, be willing to believe in something and be willing to believe bigger than what maybe others are willing. You know, don't I say it like this. Now, if you're going to envision yourself doing something, do you want to envision you're seeing a comment in here said if you're not first, you're last, and I agree 100%. But do you envision
Yeah.
yourself being second best, or do you envision yourself being number one?
Mhm.
And you know, it's not a very big distance in between those,
But
but
it's
what a
big
world of
enough.
difference.
Yeah, it's
You
big
know,
enough.
It's big enough.
The thing with that too, I find interesting is like, you know, having people believe in you, believe in yourself. It's like believe in myself always. That's what's got me this far, right? And not always in the right ways. But the other side of that is sometimes when you get somebody who does say something like that you care about. Like I don't really care about anybody what I don't know, but they're like, "Why did you do that?" And it's like maybe not even what they said, reading more into it, whatever it might be, but being like, "Oh, now I'm second guessing what I'm doing." That's something that I've only noticed in like the last since I started doing YouTube, because mostly people you know, right? They're like, why did you do that? And you're like, "Why are you saying it like that?" So then it starts this inner thought, but then you stop it quickly, be like, "Well, this is why I'm doing this, right? This is
Right.
why, this is where I'm headed to." And then usually that's enough for people to be like, "All right, whatever," right? But there's
Yeah.
that tone catches a lot of people, right? So
Hey, I'm with you,
Do
man.
you.
And
yeah.
this at this point in the game, you know, it's one of those things that's the difference in whether you, because to me, if you're not trying, you're failing, and
Yeah.
that's the difference between us giving ourselves the do and trying, saying, okay, I know this, I can do this, I believe that I can do this, I'm going to do this. And the difference in not. But I made a little video the other day, and you know, just get out of the gate.
Mhm.
Don't worry about perfect.
No.
Don't worry about
No.
what. Just get out of the gate and then give it your best. Shoot for number one every time. That way, just because you don't reach number one every time does not mean you didn't win.
No.
It just means that you got to. All right, you got out of the gate now.
Yeah.
Now you know what you need to do to get to number one.
It
You
only
know- now
takes
you know that-
one. It only takes one, man.
Yup,
That's it.
because I started belly aching the other week, man, when I first put that little song out. I seen myself doing exactly the opposite of what I preached to everybody, and I was like, nope, that ain't right. I'm
Yep.
putting it out. Because I kept going back and forth, debating on whether I should, debating on whether it was good enough. Well, did I do this right? I said, nope. And I swear to you, that's when I went and I went through my papers, you know, to set up the tax stuff. And I'm
Yep.
like, no, I have been preaching to everybody for months to just go,
Just go.
give it a try, just try. And here I am, and I spent maybe a day, maybe almost 2 days, kind of toying with, well, maybe not this song. Well, I don't like the way I don't like the way that sounds. I can do that run better. I could. No, no, I'm not doing that.
And maybe them things are true, but if you don't put it out, no one will ever hear it. And the other thing is, you always got a chance to redo it if you want to do it later.
You can try again. It's your stuff. So I just put it out there, and that's just how I feel like that when you go at things. Now, you know, I've always been one in my previous life, man. There was so much other baggage came along with giving anything a try that man, it just wasn't an option sometimes. I knew better.
Yeah.
But, these days, it's like if you really feel conviction in your heart towards something and you're going at it with a clear motive, with a clean motive, and there's no real baggage that you're dragging along with you, alcoholism, drug addiction, or whatever it may be, or whatever.
Yep.
When you can let go of that stuff and then really start pursuing the goal, then you realize, man, it's just about, going at things with faith that one, I feel this, I can do this, and two, that man, you bend, you change, you do what you got to do once you get started. You're not going to figure it all out. You might as well just get in there, get started, and then a lot of things will just figure themselves out along the way.
And that I don't know what else to call it other than second guessing. It's something that's like pretty new. Like that same thought process that you went through with your song. Like I've gone through that myself personally. But back in the day, I didn't care. It's like, here's the new song, let's go. You know what I mean? You just bang it out and off you go. But the unintended consequences of that were not really thinking everything through and where you were headed. It was just, you're in the middle of it now, so let's do it. So having that hindsight is it is a good thing, but you got to not critique yourself to death. That's the thing.
Well, you got to get out the gate, guys.
Yeah.
You got to get out the gate. And if you're critiquing yourself to death, then you're not getting out of the gate. You're not letting yourself run and be free from that bondage, because that bondage to me, that's what has held me back my whole life, bro. I've told this story many times. The things that I did in my life, baseball, pickleball, shooting pool, singing, all these things were things that just somehow it clicked for me. Somehow when I seen it, I could apply it. It didn't take me long that I was competitive at it and probably one of the better at it. But then there was these things like with guitar that I seen it, but it didn't make sense. I struggled because everything didn't come natural to me. And it was something that, until this past 10 years now, I have seen that, man, you take something that you're scared of, and if you actually start learning it and just give yourself the time it takes to apply it, then you can also learn things and become pretty good at it. You don't have to be born with it, because I'm one of these people, as good as what people may think I play guitar, and I try to stress to people that I'm not a good musician. I'm an okay musician. I just know how to do what I can do. But if they just really realize just how much for me I had to let go of some mental blocks with not being the best, with accepting that I'm going to make mistakes, that this is not something I was born good to do. I just got to keep working at it, and I'm going to work the rest of my life at it, and I'm just going to try to get better as I can get better. But it held me back, Sean, from doing like this broadcasting deal. Now, what if back when I come out of school, when I realized that baseball was not going to work, I wasn't going to get to go to college, I wasn't going to get to do that, not doing that. Then I went to work. And what if I would have given myself a chance to go do something like that in school and learn to broadcast and learn to do this type of thing, and maybe found out that I was good at that. But because I was the kind of person that it wasn't something that right off the rip I wouldn't even try. Be like, nah, hell, I'll just go do something else. I ain't playing with that bull crap. You know what I mean?
That's where I think that's saying, and it sticks with me a lot. And I've had different people say it to me in different capacities. They're like, The timing just wasn't right on this one, right? Timing is everything, right? So I think back to that time too, and like maybe shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? But I'm doing it
I
now.
wrote a song called "Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda."
There you go,
I
right?
did. It's
Yeah.
funny you said that. Man, that is so crazy, dude. Because that's like a long time. It goes, well, I should have took the time. I wish I would have. Well, I could have took the time. I knew I should have.
Nice.
Let's see. Let's see. Oh man, I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna
now
have to
gonna
break that out the vault,
Yeah,
buddy. Yep.
I don't even know how to play it. No, I don't even remember. I'll have to
You're
go
gonna
back
have-
through and.
That pretty
and-
much summarizes exactly what we were just talking about. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
super cool because
Yeah, it is.
in your mind at the time. It's like you were writing that song thinking about these same thoughts, right? So
Yeah.
look at the progress you've made, man. That's how I see it. So you know,
Hey,
good work.
man, the main thing is, I guess, out of this whole conversation that I'm getting from it, Sean, is find something that you love, and whether you're great at it or not, if you love it, go for it,
Yeah, that's right.
and you'll get better at it. You may become the best at it.
Yeah.
You never know. But the win is finding. So I told you this, man, is like at this point in my life, at this age, finding something that I can envision seeing me being physically and mentally able to do in 20 years is such a blessing. I can envision having fun doing this exact same thing 20 years from now. Maybe the platform will change. Maybe things will change. Maybe we'll get bigger. Maybe we'll get smaller. But
Who knows?
either which way, I can envision having fun at what I'm doing and becoming better at it over time and learning new stuff.
100%.
And that's the blessing in it when you just go for something that you love, whether you're perfect at it or not. You just go for it. And sometimes, the beautiful part is that what you perceive as imperfect is perfect to the masses because that's their perception of perfect is not perfect.
No,
What they
this is-
perceive as a
right
perfect
now
show.
you're using Jedi mind tricks because, like, I agree. This,
Yeah, well-
another person explained this to me too. They're like, just because you're picking this to pieces in your brain, he's like, you have no idea how the rest of the people are going to see this,
It may be perfect to them.
right? So
It may be
let her buck.
Well,
Let her buck. You know?
And as a man that's been on a stage in front of real people before, and now doing this type of thing, you get over the sitting up perfect straight. You get over all that, and you realize people want to interact with a real person.
Correct.
They want to see you do real things, make
Yeah.
real mistakes, stutter once in a while, maybe not have your words perfect, because that's what people do.
Oh yeah, that's
People
real.
are not perfect, so they are not in their eye. What is perceived as great is not perfect. It's that's what's acceptable to their human eye because perfection is just not to be found within us, guys. There's only one perfect, and we're not it.
No, no. How do
hey,
you
Magic
find when
Healing,
you're
thank you.
demolished? When you feel demolished to the core?
When you feel demotivated to the core,
Oh, demotivated.
guys,
Yeah.
words of wisdom. How do you fight when you feel demotivated to the core? Okay,
You find exactly what we were just talking about.
yeah, I'm going to tell you, Miss Amena, as a mother, that's obviously one thing that we can identify that's bigger than ourselves.
Mm.
And I think that when we dig into that core of ourselves, especially after becoming parents or becoming, just maturing in life, I think that realizing that your ultimate goal is to, one, get through life, obviously, and be healthy and be strong, but it's to identify the small, little, tiny things that are bigger than you. The blessing in a sunrise, the nice breeze that blows off the shore. Maybe it's a good movie. Maybe it's a record that you love. I find motivation these days in, taking the time in the morning time when my puppy gets up. And I say this a lot because it's so true. I take that moment and enjoy his little butt wag and nose nudge, and he's got to go pee so bad he can't stand himself, but he's so happy to see me just because he woke up. I don't know why. I wish I could talk to him. I wish I could ask him exactly what he feels, but I think he's just living in the blessing. He's just taking all the small things around him, and they just add up to huge things. So
Mm.
I think to shorten what I was trying to say, find all the little things in your life, or just take the time to look at all the small things
Yeah.
and realize that they're
They're
so
the
much
big
bigger than
things.
you,
They're the big
no matter
things,
how
man.
small.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
The fact you got the if you have the awareness too that you feel that way is a huge step in the right direction because you're aware of it. And so, what can I do to change, right? So, that's different for everybody. For me, it's getting up and moving, like physically in the morning, doing
Get up,
exercise,
move.
physically moving, like
Yeah.
getting my pump on or whatever you want to call it. That totally changes my mind. If I don't do that, it's like we're off to a bad start right at the gate,
I
right?
agree. Yeah, physical exercise is important too. It is. It is definitely.
And that personal
And
time, like we
that
talked about the
personal.
other day. Yeah,
Yep. Yep. And if it's through exercise you find it, it's however you
yep,
find that personal space that's yours. And that's when, man, I get down sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. I try to be happy most of the time, but I reach those moments sometimes where I just have to come in here and I have to make myself just start like, man, you got a wife and you got a son and you got a home that's yours. You're not in the rain. It's
mm.
like you have to almost make yourself like stop this crap and
Yeah.
move forward,
You
bro.
do
You're
know how
blessed.
much worse it can be. It's been
Yeah.
worse, right? Like yeah, it's like
It,
sometimes it
it
can't always be better, but trust me, man, it can always be worse. So if you're
it
in
can
that,
always get worse.
if you're in that spot, hold on to her, man, and enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Magic of Healing. I appreciate you throwing something out there. That's a good thought, and it's because I think we all do get demotivated, and some
Oh
of us
yeah.
on a daily basis. As a hyperactive person,
Mm-hmm.
as someone that has a little bit of issues with being able to sit and concentrate and read and things like that,
Yep.
then man, I get demotivated on a daily basis
Oh
and
yeah.
have to like say, okay, wait a minute, like some people may be able to come in here and learn 5 or 6 different things and it stay with them. Where
Yep.
I may have to break it down into learning one step of one thing and
Yep.
and feel happy about it. Be like, hell yeah, I got
Yep.
that. I got now it may take me 2 months to get learn through what somebody could do in a week, but when I get done, I'll be able to do the same thing that they're able to do. It just
Yep.
takes me a little bit longer, a little bit more to apply what I'm doing, and then it comes to me. So I take all the small wins and I pat myself on the back these days and say, well, guy, this is something that 5 years you wouldn't even have tried. So you did good. Um, but thank you, Magic of Healing. I appreciate you, brother Desi, Miss Mac in the house. Thank you, Surviving Together. Got to work, hugs, and love to all. Appreciate you guys. Let's see, what's that say there?
Yeah, I agree, Gen X. Sometimes, and I can see that the other way too. Is like sometimes people get stuck in the good old days, and that's why they're cranky now. And it's like, well, were the good old days as good as you thought they were? Because you still got days right now, and I mean, you got
Yep.
time to do something with that. So, but getting back to your hobbies or whatever it was that created that spark, I absolutely agree with because like the scientific evidence on that is through the roof. Like if you sit around and you do nothing, you're gonna accomplish nothing. Even if you get out and say like throw the tennis ball against the wall, like you're doing something, you're getting movement, you're getting flow going. And then okay, maybe now I'm gonna do something in the backyard, right? It's what is it? Something an object in motion stays in motion, and the inverse is true, right?
Yep.
But it is hard with those peaks and valleys because that's something that like yeah, when those hit, like when you're up here and then like you just kind of take that crash for whatever reason to get back up and moving again, just remember what you're working for. Keep that goal in mind. And if you don't have a goal, write one down. Like
Mm,
that's helpful. Like that was something super helpful for me and how I'm going to do it. Because putting a goal up that's unachievable or just, a pipe dream
yeah,
is,
man. Like you can't.
is
Yeah.
a different thing. But if this is something I want to do, how am I going to do it? How am I going to attain it? And now I'm going to work the plan,
Yeah.
work the plan, right?
Yep.
So,
I agree, man.
yeah.
I'm gonna read that out loud. Gen X said, and because I agree with him 100%. Says, I think time has a way of making your mind see the bad.
Mm.
Sometimes you need to remember what made you happy back in the day. Remember what brings you joy, whether it was skateboarding, painting, monster trucks. Remember your inner kid. Bring yourself some joy back to your life, and your motivation can reappear. That nosedive is a mofo, and I agree with that. And I think that's where it leads me right back to why that I love my guitar, and because that takes it. It's that inner kid in me and the inner spirit. I call it supper for the soul, because it's just, and it's not about how good you play. It's just the having that to do,
That
having
release.
that
You know what I
release.
mean? Like,
Yes,
yeah.
it's not about, like, I don't sit down to play my guitar to be
I'm writing a #1 gold song every time I play. No.
no, no, or oh my God, he has the hottest licks, and it's the no.
Yeah.
Sometimes a night I'll sit in here by my dang self and just strum a G, C, and D chord, because I love the sound of it in my ears, and it brings me that joy, and don't have to go nowhere to do
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Sometimes I'll
Yeah.
come in here and sing my heart out, Sean.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
just sing until my throat is hoarse, and there won't be a soul listening. God Himself is the only one that might hear me.
Yeah.
But for me, I
Yeah.
might be in front of my favorite crowd at my favorite spot, and that's a little bit childlike, but like Clint said, I mean, you have to look for those things
You
inside
gotta-
that brings you that joy.
and keep that inner child alive. And that's harder for some than others, depending on what you dealt with. But like that's something that you were deserving of right out of the gate. Sometimes you get it later. But do those things and live that life. Play, as we say. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Hey, thank you, Bells and Stars. Good morning to you, our friend. Appreciate you for being here. I went and watched her. I think it was yesterday or day before, but man, she has some chicken parm. And she
Yeah.
was, hey man, it looked so good. I was like, dang man. I mean, it was one of them, like, man, daggone. I wish we had like at least some smell-o-vision. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that'll
this-
be the next thing. I think Musk is currently working on that.
Yeah, because man, you know, I'm
I
a,
could get at a hand fast, though.
I like my, you know, my wife on my, like, my birthdays and stuff, like my mom when I was younger, she always made me stuffed shells every year for my birthday, because they're
Right.
expensive to make, and it's just a lot of process. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, I love those types of things, and my wife does a chicken parmesan and all that kind of stuff, and man, sometimes you'll watch stuff like that, and it's like, dang man, it'll make you want to go get. It's like Olive Garden, here I come, like, you know.
Yeah.
This cost me like $35 because I don't get to go by myself. Got to pay for somebody else to go with me too. So I was like,
You don't want to be that guy.
this cost me a fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
No,
that house
good morning
home.
to you. Good
Yeah.
morning to you, Bells and Stars. That was great, and I just appreciate your support. I appreciate your kindness. So thank you for being here and being a part of the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, smell-o-vision would be outstanding. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know,
Yeah.
but you know,
Soon enough. Soon
we're-
enough.
soon enough, guys.
Yeah.
Soon enough, man. You talk about the munchie setting in, though, bro. It's like, man.
Oh,
Dang, man.
there's some company working on that as we speak. You know there is. You know there is.
Dang.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know about this. I don't know if I should
Scratch
watch
and
all
sniff screens.
Yeah, that would be awesome if I knew how to do something like that. I definitely would do it. That would be outstanding. Then there would be some times you probably didn't want smell of
Yeah.
it. So
you have to be
you
careful on which channels you're going by.
got to trade the good with the bad. Got to trade the good with the bad. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, man.
that's
But
it.
you want to play everybody's song, get us a drink, man.
Yeah,
and
sounds good.
it's coming up on the top of the hour. Do you have one pulled? Did you have one pulled up?
I did, but I
No,
changed it.
You
Yeah.
change. Okay.
Yeah. We'll
Let me
with-
go over here.
Yeah.
We'll do. All right. We'll do. Let's see.
Silly girl.
Yeah, let's do. All right. Well,
There
that's
you
the
go.
first one on the list. So let's do Silly Girl then.
There you
This
go.
is a Shine Dig song called Silly Girl. You can find it at Shine Dig, and you're getting ready to find it right now because we're going to play it
Yeah.
for you.
Awesome.
But I encourage you to go check it out. And he's got other music as well. So go check it out. And I think your distro kidding too.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna be doing one a week for the next month. I'm gonna do that. So there'll be different stuff on there that I don't put on YouTube. Is just something you can get through there. So
Right.
iTunes, wherever you buy music, same as Guy. So you'll find
Cool.
us on the interweb
On the
anywhere.
on the big world of the interweb.
That's it.
Right above the top artist days.
Exactly. Yeah, just give it a minute.
Why look for number two? Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. We were
Being
just
first,
talking
you're
about
last.
that. We
Being
were just
first,
talking
you're
about
last.
that.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys. Good vibes to you
Shake and
guys.
bake, baby. Yeah.
This is Guy and Shine, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Always good vibes. This is Brother Shine's song called Silly Girl. We appreciate y'all being here.
Thanks, guys.
It's for you, sweetie. All right. Where did you come from, silly girl? I know I just met you, but I can't seem to get you out of my head, out of my head. My favorite song was playing, and you were shaking your hips with little invitation. We were locking lips, and know that I'll never forget you, no matter how hard I try. I can't even find a pen so I can see you again. You gave me your poison, and I breathed you in. And just like my favorite things, you disappear in the end. The end. And as the band was winding down, I couldn't seem to find you in the crowd of faces. Then out of nowhere, you appear without one question. Yeah, we disappeared, and know that I'll never forget you, no matter how hard I try. Can't even find the words to tell you how much you blew my mind. Gave me your poison, and I breathed it in. But just like my favorite things, you disappear in the end. The end. The end. It's just the beginning. Well, you know I won't forget you, no matter how hard I try. I can't even find a pen so I could see you again. Gave me your poison, just like my favorite things disappear. Yeah. The end. The end. The end. True story. I hope you're still out there.
A world where everyone belongs. In harmony we sing this song. Peaceful vibes in paradise. Underneath these turquoise skies. Hand in hand we walk as one. Feeling life like a ride.
Hey, I'm Tommy Kenyon, your tech content creator and digital content pro. With cutting edge AI guidance, I craft segments like interactive audio or video audio sync tutorials and more. I deliver clear step-by-step digital solutions that make your projects shine, practical, fast, and ready to roll. Hire me to bring your tech vision to life. Let's create something epic together.
Yeah. Good vibes to you, Magic of Healing. Have a great, outstanding afternoon, our
Yes.
friend. Appreciate you. She loves your
you.
song, Silly Girl.
It's kind, very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Amena, for being here. We appreciate you. Shout out to Brother Desi in the house. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate all of you guys, man. Thank you all for being here. It's a little bit after 12, coming up 12:06 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, man. It's rainy and nasty here.
Oh,
so
it's getting hot, man. It's getting humid here. We're gonna have a boomer soon for sure.
yeah.
But we
Yep.
need it, man, because I tell you, like the pollen this year has been unreal. Like you on a sunny day, it looks like it's snowing outside. There's so much pollen going
Wow.
around. So
That's
anyway,
rough on some people, man. You
but
know.
I'm one of them apparently. Like I never dealt with any kind of allergies or anything like that till I came back to the East Coast, and my father has them wicked bad. Like he's got to get a shot every year just so he works in the woods too, right? So
Man, that
anyway, I'm
sucks.
gonna go get me checked out here in a week or two and see what the deal is. But I think it's ragweed because it just floats
Probably.
through the air, man. And like if you're walking around, like me and my boy were playing basketball yesterday evening, and then while I was talking to you, then went down fishing, and one of them things hit me square in the ear, and as that happened, the another one hits you in the nose because it's just like they're coming from everywhere, just sneezing and trying not to hit anybody with a hook or a ball, like it's yeah.
It's got its challenges for sure, man.
Yeah. Plus, we got smoke up here because I don't know what's burning right now, but something in Canada's burning. So
Yeah, we had
someplace
smoke
in
from
there.
you guys. They said it was coming from Canada the other day.
Yeah, they
It
said
was real hazy,
Manitoba,
man.
but I was surprised we'd get it here just because Manitoba's a far ways off. But anyway, that's the scoop. we get it every year, but with the haze from the smoke and then that on top of it, the air's you're almost not even fit to be outside, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, they had warnings for people around here from the smoke from you guys where it come down.
yeah.
You know, for people with it wasn't bad right here where we're at. It was hazy, but
Mm.
in certain other spots they had warnings for people that had like
Mm-hmm.
sensitivities to, you know,
Yeah.
smoke and stuff like
Air
that. Just like
quality.
stay inside and not be outside. But
Yeah.
the pollen and stuff for us around here where we've had so much rain, that's
Mhm.
kind of helped
Keep it down.
keep it knocked down quite a bit
Yeah.
just because it, you know, the moisture. But it's coming. It's coming.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it, you know, it's coming. You
Well,
know
it's
that.
all and it all just sets in the grass, right? So once she
Yeah.
gets hot for a day or two, she's
Then
here
you'll get out there
mowing
mowing and
Yeah.
sling it all over.
it. Yeah,
It's crazy,
lovely.
man. It's
Yeah.
crazy, especially this time of year because it's like it's everything.
Mhm.
Everything's got its pollens and different stuff. But I'm fortunate, man. I don't really have. I mean, I might sneeze or something once in a while, but as far as like my eyes swelling
Oh,
up and my
man.
throat, I don't have that issue. Thank
Yeah.
God, I don't have that issue.
I've only been dealing with it. This is the third year, but each year's got like, and like I had to do some reading on it. I'm like, this can't all be from allergies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't think that, like, you know, it's going to cause you all this kind of trouble, but it does. But I'll tell you, when I'm out west, like, or even if we leave this area, because right in our area, there's a lot of fields and trees and stuff like that, right? So you get a lot of like willow blow and stuff like that. That just
Yeah.
it's not great. But if we go camping for a few days, it clears up and then you're fine. But you know, it comes back if you're into too much of it. So yeah, if you're wondering what's going on and it's a new thing for you, you maybe get some sinus pills is what I recommend.
Yeah.
Because that's about the only thing that gets me going in the day. Because I'm still dealing with that friggin' ear thing, man. Like that's annoying. Because when you're trying to play, when you're trying to even talk, like back and forth, it's like, or I'm trying to make sure that I'm in sync and stuff. It's not too bad with talking, but playing and singing, not even on the books right now.
Huh.
So yeah. Just because, I mean, imagine not being able to hear anything out of the one side, right?
Right.
So when you're playing, it's just you kind of got this bassy back, so you're not able to keep in key when you're singing.
Right.
I wrote a couple songs over the last week, and I'm like, man, like the outline's good, but I can't, you know what I mean? I'm not in time, I'm not in anything, so we'll redo them. We'll redo them here soon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you get it, man.
No, yeah, no,
Can't
not
last
worried.
forever.
No,
Can't last forever. It's gotta
No.
go away eventually, man.
absolutely.
That's the way I play the game anyway. Like, yeah, it's a
Well, at
time.
least it's moving now. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if I move my head certain ways, it'll like kind of crack like a broken speaker, you know, like when you get that poppy sound. So I'm like, all right, that's good. Because it
Yeah.
was doing nothing for about a month and that was starting to make me worry. But,
Yeah.
you know, c'est la vie, as we say up here en
I'm telling you,
français.
hook a vacuum to it. Just put a vacuum to it.
I
over
would
your
if it was
ear
on
and-
the outside, but it's
I'll
on
do
the
it.
inside.
I'll
of
do it.
I'm
I'll do
sure
it.
you would. I was thinking about taking a power drill to it, but you know, apparently it's on the backside, and that's not a great idea. So,
Yeah, but
maybe
I mean,
maybe
those
if I
are-
go in through this way, maybe that would work.
I'd
you
say
know.
there was several people telling people back in the day that it ain't a great idea to fly that rocket up there to the moon, but they did it, and look what happened. So,
How many
we
did
might
it take
get-
before they made it?
hey, there's got to be a first. So I feel like if you held still
Yeah.
and we put it over it, and then hit the button,
Well, I'm willing to try anything once. You know what I mean?
I'm willing to come and help you, nearly free of charge. I just want to get to.
I got a
I
place.
want to be
I got
the
a
one.
room, 3 squares a day. You
Like
know,
I
you'll
want to be the
fine.
one to hold the. Like,
Yeah, I know
I
what you
wanna
want
be
to
the
I
one
know
to
what you
hold
want to
the-
do. I know exactly what you want to do.
I want to be the one, that, and then maybe your wife can hit the little power button while I'm holding good and tight with the, you know, because you're gonna have to keep it held tight to keep,
Yeah.
you know, to
Bite down on this. What's
yeah,
that?
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I got a clacker. I'll bring it. You
There
can
you
bite
go.
on the clacker.
Hey,
And-
perfect.
Then, so we're pretty much ready.
Yeah, we're basically surgeons
And then as
now.
a parting gift,
So-
I can give you a pick. because I've got a bag full of them. I give you a pick.
Yeah, here's something you'll never be able to use again because your eardrum is shattered. But here you
Yeah,
go.
but we cleaned her out. We cleaned her
You should
out.
have a nice sound. Yeah,
I'm
perfect.
just offering. I'm just throwing it out there just in case.
Well, I'll never turn down medical assistance. So,
Right, from an unqualified individual. That'd be me.
It wouldn't be the first time. the local
But I feel
vet.
like with the
Yeah.
vacuum cleaner, I have plenty of experience,
yeah,
and
yeah.
as
As long as you got the right nozzle fittings, I mean,
I've
think
got one of them with all the different.
Oh, well,
So
we're in
depending on how
business.
big your head is, I can get it to we can.
You got
we
room
can
to
fig-
work with. Yeah,
I've got room to work with, man. I mean, we can
Well,
and from
you
where
heard it
I'm
here
at, you
first.
learn to adapt and overcome.
yeah. Well,
And I feel like
that's
that there's several different options with those different extensions that we could use to.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
yep. I'm
that's
just saying.
that. That's that.
I'm just saying, like that. I think it would be awesome,
you're
and we'll
looking
film
for
it. We'll film it because I'm filming. I'm just going to let you know
have
that.
to. You have to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do anything like that, please have a camera on.
Yeah, I'm going to make you famous. We're going to the top, baby. Now we might be
I
considered
never thought it would
ignorant at
come
the
like
top.
this, but I always knew it would.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it because it's more you being the guinea pig. I'm just
Well.
the one helping because usually I'm the. In my life, I've been the one that things happen to for the sake of fun. Hey, I tell you, the worst thing I ever did. Now, this is a true daggone story. My wife, she could attest to it, and my buddy that I was just at his house, he could attest to it.
Yeah.
I had a little apartment before I got married that I, was batching it up and everything. And then, I met Courtney and all, and she started coming over and everything. And that's where we lived at when we got married. That's where she moved in at. But anyway, Chris was he was living with me at the time. And, working all the time, just ignorant drinking and everything. Just, Courtney come over and Chris and Chris and me and her were there. Somehow or another, I don't even remember exactly how that I ended up with my shirt off and my arm up in there.
Yeah.
But somehow it was brought to my attention that it would be a great idea to wax my armpit. That was not.
No. It's a horrible idea.
I'm just going to repeat. That was not our as far as pre-thought. But anyway, yeah, I got my arm up in there, and
I've already committed to it. I can't turn away
she
now.
puts the stuff on there. Hey, she puts the stuff on there, and then the realization sets it. Man, it started pulling before anything was pulling. You know what I'm saying? Like it started hurting, and there wasn't even nothing happening. Like nobody was pulling on anything yet, right? Hey, when that stuff it stuck, right? Hey, they pulled that off of me, and I bled. Like it pulled the blood out, bro. Like,
What?
hey, that was only one arm got waxed. You know what I mean? Like, no, we ain't doing
You
that.
look like
one
a
no more.
psycho walking around with one waxed armpit.
Hey, dude.
Anyway.
Hey, that hurt
Yeah.
so bad, dude.
I
Because
imagine.
man, once it's set up, like you didn't.
Mm.
The choice was made, bro. Like
No,
it was
you
coming
can't
off.
back-
Like
it's coming off one way or another.
oh my god, it felt like they pulled the hair from the other armpit through my body and out, man. It was
I can
Dude,
feel your
dude.
description. I don't.
oh my
No.
gosh, man. I mean, it
No.
was so bad that it was like, why do people do this? Why would
Wow.
anybody do this to themselves, man?
Like you're
dude.
tougher than I am.
Dude, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. It was a have to. I didn't have no choice after it was stuck. Dude, I'm not tough. I'm not tough. I'm stupid, is what I am. I got talked into something
Well.
stupid and nobody explained to me how painful.
That's
this was gonna
it's
be.
usually how the best skits go. No, you have no
Dude.
real awareness about what's to happen to you.
I couldn't believe it, man. It was a big old pad. You know what I mean? One of them, and Courtney put plenty of stuff, and it stuck, and then it started pulling, bro. Before I'm sitting there, and I'm
Well,
like, I'm
yeah.
not moving, but it's pulling. It was
you got
pulling.
a chemical spread on with a sticky that's like starting to
Oh
suck
my
off.
god, dude!
At least it
I
was
mean,
in your armpits and not another more
I was
sensitive
stuck
area.
like that. I had to let them pull it because if I tried to move, it hurt so bad that I was like, "Are you serious, man?" And dude, hey,
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
tell
sick.
you,
That's sick.
that will never happen to this guy again.
No.
Now I'm sure that,
That's why
that
they make
Junior may try
razors.
something ignorant,
Like,
but not this one.
I don't understand. Like, if you have access to a razor, why would you submit yourself to this kind of
That was kind of
torture?
like
Dare I
that
say?
was kind of like I felt like peer pressure got me. Peer
Well,
pressure got me. It was
yeah.
it was made out to be something more fun than what it actually turned out to be. Now they made it sound like it would be outstanding and it would be great, but it wasn't. Now,
How many
grant
beers
you-
in were we at this point?
grant you, they had a great time. I feel, but I didn't feel like I had the moment that they had.
No.
Because the pain was real. I'm not
Their
gonna
joy
lie.
came through your suffering.
Oh my goodness gracious, dude. Yeah, I only got one wax though. I wasn't dumb enough to do the second one.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, I ain't
No.
doing that. You ain't getting me
Mm-mm.
like that again. You
Mm-mm.
ain't getting me like that again because it hurts. I'm still wounded. I don't sleep well at night over that. And I ain't doing that no more.
PTSD.
I couldn't
for this
imagine
incident.
doing anything else anywhere else. With
No.
oh,
Oh heck no.
I ain't man
Heck
enough.
no.
I ain't man enough.
At least that's firm under there. You imagine on some other areas that are a little stretchy.
Oh man! Oh my God, dude! No way. There's no way I'll ever do that, man. Because I'm telling you, I'm not man enough. It hurt. It hurt so bad, and it was not funny on my end. I mean, it was a little bit fun. I did laugh a little bit after I woke up
The
because
burning sensation.
I passed out. I think when she pulled it the first time and it didn't come loose. That was the one that hurt, bro.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
that one where she pulled it
Oh.
and didn't like pull it hard enough, bro, and her hand came off.
Oh,
I
so
was
it
like,
had to swing back. Oh,
dude,
oh, no.
I'm telling you, man. And then they give it
Gotta
more than it sounded like you was ripping a pair of Levi jeans you just bought, man. Brand new. It sounded like one of them ripping when it, and it was. It was my armpit ripping, dude. You talk about sore. I walked around like this for like 4 days. It's not because I'm a tough guy. It was
You're
because I was
getting
hurting so
Yeah.
bad. I was like, man, this hurts. No deodorant. Oh, you couldn't put no deodorant.
Oh
on.
no.
Oh no! I tell you what, somebody
That's
try to put
foolish
deodorant
talk.
on me, they're gonna have
Yeah.
to whoop this fella because you ain't putting no. No, we gonna go stinking today.
No.
Nope.
No. That's
Nope.
insult to injury there.
Yep,
No.
yep. If anybody says, "Man, somebody needs to put some deodorant," on," I'll be like, "Man, you do it. I ain't
Yeah.
putting nothing on.
You're the one who stinks. Get out
You're
of
the
here.
one that taught me into putting this crap underneath my armpit. Now somebody's gonna pay." Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that was a funny little story. That was a good one, man. That was
Yeah.
that was one of them times in my life where I was like, man, I just don't think comedy was worth it this time.
Mm-mm. No.
It took a couple days to get past that one. I ain't gonna lie, and I wasn't laughing during that time. It was nothing funny about it. It was just a little bit.
It's kind of funny now though.
CFM's in the house laughing. It really hurt. It does. Waxing hurts, man.
It's craziness. Craziness.
I couldn't
can't-
believe it. I could not, Sean. I honestly had
No.
never ever done anything like that. Not on my leg, anything like that.
Mm-mm.
So,
Mm-mm.
you know, I kind of knew that like girls waxed and they did all this kind of stuff. So Courtney, somehow it was talked into, it was a great idea for me to try a waxing.
No.
And I feel like that they
No.
did it knowing that it was going to suck, but they didn't tell me. And anyway, that's a different part of the story. But man, that stuff, there is no way, bro. I'd let you punch me. I
Bridget,
just
yeah.
punch you. Go ahead and get you one.
Yeah.
But you ain't waxing me. You
No.
ain't waxing me. I'm gonna be the hairiest, nastiest. Hey, they
Like
sell
I said,
razors every day.
yeah, that's it. They're still razors. But yeah, the Brazilian thing, yeah, I see of him putting that up.
I tell you,
I got respect for anyone who does it. I'll say that. much.
Me
But-
too.
but
Me too.
My goodness.
They really want to have no hair.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
tell you, this old boy, I'll take all the hair, let it grow. Let it grow. Hey, ain't no way. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way that I would wax. No way. No way.
Well,
Because
up here,
it hurt.
man, like they have the tannin, like the tannin, what is it? The tannin, wax, and then the gym, right? So it's all together. So they got the tanning beds in the back, and they got waxers and masseuse, whatever.
So as you're
And-
tanning, you can hear people scream for mercy.
yeah, literally. Like I remember being on the treadmill one day and just hearing this. It's like, what's happening back there? They're like, oh, that's where they do the waxing after the tanning. I'm like, after the tanning?
Bro,
I mean, that
no.
sounds more painful than if you did it before tanning. I don't know.
I don't know that
Never
there's an
tan
order that
myself.
matters at that point. I think that you're screwed
Either way,
You're
just seeing this dude with these little goggles and a Speedo on howling
Oh,
for his life. You're welcome. You're welcome.
yeah, yeah, I don't, yeah, I don't go to the places. Yeah.
No, it's like, I got better things to do than
Yeah.
this, man.
Yeah,
See you later.
Man. I tell you what. Now, in all honesty, I don't know how people like. I certainly am not in. I couldn't do it. I just would not put myself through that. I mean, I get it if that's what people
No.
want to do. I respect it and everything. But there is no way that this old boy put himself through some stuff. And like you
No.
said, what if we get some wax on some skin that maybe a little stretchy, and then we give it a. I
And
don't
you get
know.
that sling back. They don't get
I don't
it
know
free
because I got some deep rooted hair. I feel like it might would. Yeah, I don't know. I just can tell you that right here on my armpit, it felt like that the hair from this side went through my body and came
Stop
out.
pulling that hair, and my teeth's gonna fall out. I'm pretty
I'm
sure it's
telling
tied
you,
to
man.
those strings.
Oh, I'm telling
man.
you, man.
Yeah,
oh,
no way.
it dude.
No,
There
no.
is no way in God's green earth that I would ever let
Never.
that. Let me. Now, if somebody else wanted me to help them put some on there, I mean, now I'd be that end of the deal. But I'm not doing the end where I'm the one that gets any of it on. I'm not doing that. I just
Well,
ain't doing that.
There's an avenue of expansion for us. Start our own waxing line.
Ain't no way. There ain't enough viral
models.
in a video for me to wax nothing. Nothing. No. No. I tell you another
Mantini
good one.
season is coming up.
I tell you another good one that I don't recommend. I mean, without filming, but
Yeah.
the shock collar, it works.
Oh yeah.
It works. I went and bought my
Yeah.
dog one of them barking collars. Hey, I did that. I held it up to my neck, and I mean, I held it. You know, one of these numbers. Like I'm not letting it go, and I started going, hey. Some of this grabbed me. I mean, it grabbed me up and jerked me up, man. I mean, I was like, let go. I was trying to pull it off, but it was just like that. Hey, it hurt, bro. I was coming down the road. I couldn't drive at the time. Imagine that.
Yeah.
That got a DUI. But anyway, Courtney was driving, and we went to Walmart. I had a job and everything. It wasn't like that, but I couldn't drive there. But anyway, went to Walmart, and we got it. You know, my dog had got in trouble because we had a librarian live beside me in the apartment unit. Imagine that. And my dog would bark the whole time I was gone.
Oh.
So she called the law because
Oh,
I'm a
wow.
tough guy. She called the law instead of
Right.
just saying, "Hey, man, your dog's keeping me up." But anyway, the law showed up because I'm tough, and they were like, "Hey, you know, like your dog's barking. He's a big one, about like that, you know, monster." Anyway, I go buy this little bark collar for him, and I thought, well, I'm not putting this on my dog till I give it a try myself, as any responsible homeowner would do,
Of course.
or dog owner. So I tried it. That was the last time I tried that. We ain't doing that no more. That thing hemmed me up, bro. Like it caught
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Like I had the prongs right there.
Oh yeah.
Like right against my, you know, like that.
Yeah.
And when I hit that and loud enough that it triggered it and done it, dude, it triggered.
When me
I
and
was
the
like,
boys, when me and the boys were living together, you did not want to be the first one to fall asleep because you were gonna wake up with a
oh,
dog
with
collar,
something ignorant done.
duct tape to your neck, sprayed with
Yeah.
garden hose and heavy metal music playing the second you wake up yelling. So you're so disoriented, just getting zapped. These are the things we used to do in the early 2000s, late 90s, before they changed all the laws. I think now they get you with legally harboring
Hey.
somebody or something like that. But only the things that we used to do to each other is just,
Hey, we
great.
gotta see if Ev's talking about electric fences. Yeah, I've had
Oh, yeah.
some of them experiences too with
the
you
tricks
know.
to grab the other person first
Yeah.
before you grab the line.
yeah,
Path of least resistance.
man.
The on the other
Nice,
side of the
nice.
road. Yeah.
There's Mike Coachman in the house. Good to have you here,
Hey,
my
man.
friend. Appreciate you being here, man. Always good vibes to you, man. Thank you very much for
Yeah,
being
absolutely.
here.
Thanks.
We were talking about them shot collars and waxing. I'm telling you, man, some of the stuff like now with that shot collar, this is the thing that now the dog was smart enough that it was a little Airedale puppy dog, right?
Yep.
And the little sucker was smart enough that after he figured out what was happening, hey, he would sit in that his little crate that I put him in, and he'd sit in that little crate. Just below
the decibel level.
just below the decibel that it would take. So she still didn't get rid of the all day long. It's like, but you
that's
know what,
hilarious.
man? Like she never ever once spoke to me personally. Instead of just speaking to me about it or my wife about it, she called the law on us, which therefore put me in a totally different mindset. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, but I'm gonna do the bare minimum. Like I don't care if it disturbs you the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Like you move. I was here first. You move.
Yeah.
You move. If you don't like it,
Something changed there along the way, you know. Like I remember, like when we had this place, like we were in our 20s, and like we all played acoustic, and a few boys played harmonica. There was a bunch of guys from New Brunswick, and the other half were Newfies. So you know, every day was something was going on, right? And we went and talked to the neighbors because we had this big old backyard where you could have a campfire, and it was a big backyard. The other houses were pretty far away, but we, you know, went and met them when we moved in, and hey, if we're too loud, they never hesitate, come on over and let us know. We'll shut her down, we'll move her inside, we'll do whatever. So anyway, but a month goes by, and like, you know, we're doing these campfire play arounds, and like most of the people from the neighborhood would come down and hang out and just listen, jam, do whatever. Anyway, one night this lady blows her top. We're like, all right, time to shut her down, right? But then she also called the police. And the cops showed up, and there were a couple of guys. This was in Alberta, so they were guys from back home, and I happen to know one of their brothers. So it was like one of those situations where you're like, hey, I haven't seen you in a minute. What are you guys doing here, right? And like, we got a noise complaint. I said, well, we just talked to them, and we shut everything down. He goes, yeah, but that's not how it works anymore, man. He's like, people just call the cops on you, and that part kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like if we're not obliged or we're not keeping up to our end of the deal, then okay, I get that, but why are you making this happen, right? So
right?
Because it does rub you the wrong way. And a few of the guys were like, let's go out and play it 10 times louder. I'm like, no, that's exactly what, you know what I mean? This is exactly what they're
I told y'all about, I think I told you guys about my neighbor down here at the bottom of the hill. I've been putting my son on the bus at that same spot since he started school. He's never went to school from nowhere else, from right there at the bus stop. My wife, her brothers and sisters, or her sister and two brothers, they all got the bus at the same spot. Well, I rode my four-wheeler down there one afternoon to go get my boy off the bus so that he didn't have to walk up the hill. It's a back road. We're allowed to ride our four-wheelers on this little road because it's not a state or county maintained road. It's a private road. It's a almost like a big cul-de-sac. You come up, but it's a one-way in,
road.
one way out,
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I ride my four-wheeler down through there, and right there where the road comes down at the bottom, there's this ditch right there, so that if you ever get in a bind going down through there, you can get in the ditch and stop before you get to the main drag. Well, I'm putting my four-wheeler down through there, doing about Mach nothing. Just I could walk faster than what I'm riding. And when I get down to where their driveway's like this, the hill's coming down like that. Well, when I get to the other side of their driveway, I just get over in the edge of their crappy little yard and ride down to where the little bus stop's at, and I park my four-wheeler in front of this old building that sits down there. It's their property, but it's where we've sat with the four-wheeler. The first pictures I have of my kid, he's standing in front of this building. Anyway, man, I'm sitting there like looking the opposite direction of the house, and I don't know, I was looking at my phone, just looking around and everything. I kept hearing somebody, and I looked and I didn't see nobody. I could hear somebody talking, but I couldn't hear what what was being said, and I didn't see nobody. Well, I finally realized that there was this lady standing behind me. Sir.
This is gonna go well so far.
I'm like, yeah, what do you need? You know what I mean? She said, you're not to be parking your four-wheeler on my property.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm waiting on the school bus. This is a school bus stop.
Yeah.
I don't want you parked on my property. I said, well, you see all that sunshine 10 feet in front of me?
Yeah.
That's why I'm not parked in the middle of the road. And you see that steep hill behind you? If I'm parked with my back turned and somebody loses their brakes, then I'm in the road. What are they going to hit other than me?
Mm-hmm.
I said, so I mean, I was like 4 feet off of the road that comes down, sitting in front of this little building.
Right.
So anyway, I done told her, like, I've been sitting here for the past 10 years with my kid, waiting on the school bus in the morning, waiting on the school bus in the evening. I said, your dad has never said nothing to me. This is his property. And I said, so if you want him to tell me not to sit here, you tell him to come up to the house and we'll talk about it.
Yep.
I'm not talking to you. I ain't got nothing else to say to you. And she kept on and on and on. And, you know, she's talking crap about me sitting there and everything. And I finally just looked at her. I said, man, you might as well just call law because I ain't moving. Till my kid gets off the bus, I ain't moving. I'm not sitting out there in the heat.
You can
Not
keep
sitting out
vegan,
there in the
but
middle
I'm
of the
done
road.
listening.
I'm not. I like you. You're talking to a deaf ear right now because
Yeah.
I'm not listening to you. Well, finally, she said, "Well, don't you have a car?" I said, "Well, of course, I've got several cars, but I also have a four-wheeler." I said, "Well, don't you have a damn lawnmower and some business of your own to mind?"
Some manners.
Hey,
Yeah.
her grass is up here about like this. Not that I care, but you're gonna talk crap
you're
to me.
gonna
Don't
pick
you
at
have
me.
a car? Don't you
Yeah.
have any? I'm like, yeah, I got a couple of them, and I got a four-wheeler too that I can bring down here. And then
Yeah.
I was like, well, don't you have a damn lawnmower and some business of your
You
own to
got a
mind?
life. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and finally, man, I'm the kind of dude, I don't argue with people's wives.
No.
I'll argue with your husband about your wife all day, and
yeah.
I'll tell you what a piece of junk she is. And I told her, I said, look, this ain't even your house. Your daddy let you live in this damn house. You
Yeah.
tell him to come talk to me if there's a
So
problem.
she's
I ain't
just
got
trying
nothing
to
else
flex
to say.
around the property, right? Like nothing better
Her
to do.
dad, hell, he had been there for a long time in the house right next
Hey, he
door.
didn't
He
care.
knew that I rode
You know.
down through there all the time. Nothing. It's not like I'm riding down through there. It's
Mm-hmm.
with nobody. I don't make no trouble or anything. Called the law on me for parking at the bus stop 4 feet at the bottom of their hill in their yard that looked like Sanford and Son done had a couple kids and forgot to mow the grass. And you know, and the thing was is she didn't come at me like a adult. She come at me
No, to pick a
in
fight.
this way, like you're gonna do what I tell you to do,
Yeah.
and it's like, ma'am, you just don't realize
Apparently,
that
we ain't
that-
met.
that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna move when I see
You just
fit.
made the biggest
right?
mistake you could have made.
No lie.
Yeah.
My kid's right in here, and he can tell you. This man
Mhm.
comes up sheriff's office. We done got back up here to the house,
Yeah.
and they got a particular last name. Brown is their last name. And anyway, this cop pulls up my driveway, and of course I knew what it was and everything. So I go out to talk to him, and I got this cup of coffee in my hand. I'm cool about it and everything.
Mhm.
And I let him say his spiel, and I was like, okay, I see what you're saying. I
Mhm.
said, but Officer Brown, don't let me find out that you're any kind of relationship and this is a personal vendetta. Because I said, it's an awful small town. It's
I
awful
believe they
funny
call
that their
a
last name is
conflict of
Brown.
interest.
I said, your last name is Brown. I said, well, just how close a kin are you guys? And is this a personal call?
Are
Or
you
is
on
this an
duty?
actual
'Cause
law call?
that would be bad for you.
You know what I mean? And
be
and he
bad
got kind
for
of
you.
huffy with me, and I told him, I said, well, young
Mhm.
man, I said, whatever your business is here, then I suggest you just do whatever the law says that you need to do because I really don't want to talk to you no more.
No.
I feel like that. I feel like this is a personal call. This ain't really about what the law is.
No.
You know, because the truth of the matter is, all right, 10 feet off of the center of the road and all that comes into play. Well, you've got his thing was you're on a private road, so that don't matter. I said, yeah, but it intersects a main road, and that
Yeah,
does.
that's right.
I
That's
said,
right.
now I was close enough to the main road that rule counts too. I said, so if you guys really want to get into this, then let's do it. Then, you know
Let's
what I
get
mean?
digging.
Let's go for it, because I feel like that is the designated bus stop. And you're telling me I've got to tell my kid, now this hill's so steep that the state won't maintain it. It's too steep.
Yeah.
But yet you're telling me I've got to tell my young son, instead of standing off the road in a safe spot, you stand in the middle of the road, because that woman will call the law. You can call the law every damn day. We'll have them out here every day, because I'm not going to tell my kid to stand in the road. The safe place is to stand off the road where you are out of the traffic, out of everybody driving.
Yeah, of course.
And you're not relying on somebody seeing you. I've always taught my kid, don't rely on other people looking out for you. You
no.
look out for you.
That's like the
And-
motorcycle rule, man. Make sure you're riding where people can see you. You know what I mean? Or you're gonna
Yeah.
get run off the road. People won't see you.
Seriously, man. And
Yeah.
it was like, man, so I carry it like this. I'm not gonna mess with the people as far as being on their property, but
Mm-hmm.
I am, I'm gonna keep doing exactly what I've been doing. And if you want to call the law every day, then we'll have the law up here every day, because I know this. I know my financial situation, and I can pretty much tell their financial situation. So if you feel so led, take me to court
Yeah.
and spend the money it takes to take me to court, and I'll spend the money it takes to get my lawyer to defend me, and we'll do it that way if you see so fit. But don't muck with me. Don't mess with me like that, because I'm not your average everyday dummy. And I know that there's rules that apply, and we're against the main road, which if you want to play games, okay, we can say that off of this main road or off of this back road, that doesn't count. But the intersecting road is a main route. It is Route 61.
That's why they wrote this thing called the rule book. You know what I mean?
After that, little cop just moseyed on down the hill, because it's like, look, buddy, if you just let them know, I'm going to keep doing,
Yep.
and I'm going to keep getting my kid off the same place that I've always got him off, and I'm going to sit in
Was
the
this
same
recent
spot
that this happened?
this year.
This year?
This
Oh,
year.
That's
My kid's 15 years old, been hitting that school bus stop. We've been at that school bus stop since he started from kindergarten. He's 15 years old.
And is
that's
this
the
person
first
that
time.
rubbing up the trouble a new party to the property, or
See, there was renters in there.
Right.
And then when she got old enough and got married and crapped her out her first kid of dozens, I'm sure, then her daddy and mama give her that little property instead of renting it to other renters.
Okay.
They give it to them, or they let them live in it, whatever it is.
right?
Either which way, renters, owners, I'm gonna do it the same. And her dad, I've worked with his dad. Like, I've worked with this woman's dad. John Brown and I, we know each other well enough. Dude, you could come up to my driveway and we could talk about this over a cup of coffee. Like, you called the lot. Now it's a different game for me. Now I'm going to make you spend the money to take me to court if that's really how you feel, and I'll spend what I got to spend. But I know your financial situation, and I know it'd be tough on you too. So we're going to spend some money.
Sounds like
and
somebody
that's
just flexing because they got nothing better to do.
well,
You
they
know what
thought.
I mean?
I really seriously thought that it would have made. I think that in
think
her
that when
little
the
peon brain,
The police came.
I
That was
think-
going to be the end of it.
I think that she thought that when she said, "Oh, I'm going to call the law," that I was going to just start my four-wheeler and putt
Cut
3
and
feet
run.
forward.
Yeah.
3 feet. We're talking about 3 feet, Sean. I could
Yeah.
have pulled 3 feet forward and sat in the middle of the road, and this woman would have been happy. And I'm like,
I would've
lady, the way
backed
you
up
just
a
came
foot.
at me, it'll hair lip the devil before I ever do anything different.
Yeah,
and I can
exactly.
promise you, I swear this, everything I love.
Yep.
I'm gonna ride my four-wheeler down there from now till my son starts driving. I'm gonna do the same exact thing that I've always done, and I can promise you now, there ain't been no law back up to my house, because I made it clear. If they really are that serious, don't waste the law's time. Just tell them that the man already said for you to take him to court. He already said spend the money it takes to take him to court.
Yep.
And I really feel that was, if you are that asinine, that you are going to come at a man that's trying to be a good dad and pick his kid up off the bus, not harming nobody. I'm going to be so asinine to say, let's spend some of that little bit of money that y'all got.
It's
and to
something that always makes me
important it is,
wonder
too.
about a person's psyche. Is like, this has been
Because
going
I'm man
on
enough to
long-
say I'll drop $2,500 for a lawyer
Yeah,
to
it's like,
come
this
and-
has been going
and
on long
defend me.
before you showed up. And now,
Yeah.
I'm guessing things aren't going the best. in your
My
life.
wife and mother had babysitted the girl and took care of her as friends with the
serious? Oh,
family
wow.
and her mom. Her mom is my freaking mail lady.
Sounds like someone needs a hug.
Dude, that's why it made me so livid. I was like, you know what?
This
Your
sucks.
whole family knows exactly where I live, and instead of
Yeah.
you doing things like coming up and talking to me like a person, you call the law on me?
So
Okay.
Ronry,
All right. I'll
I
spend the
have
money it takes to defend
nobody.
myself. It'll hair lip the devil, but I'll be doing it the same way. And I know where her husband works.
Cries for attention.
I know that they don't make no big money. So if you feel it worth to go spend the money to get a judge to tell me that I'm wrong, then okay.
Maybe
My
they'll
kid will be
maybe
out of
they'll hire
school by
that
then, and
Shea
it
Cook
won't
fella.
matter. But
Maybe
I'll
they'll
still
hire
have
that
made
Shea
you.
Cook guy, and you can get two birds with one
Hey,
stone.
I'm gonna tell you, this is the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
I will happily spend the $2,000 or $2,500 to get representation, knowing that I got their $2,500 spent too.
Yeah.
You got to go spend some money too, and I can guarantee you that money ain't gonna hurt me as bad as it would hurt them. And so far, I ain't had no lawsuits come against me, and I ain't done nothing no different. Seems like my point was made, don't it? If it's
Yeah.
worth it to you, if it's so worth it to you to call the law, just go ahead and know I'm not going to change not one
Well,
damn
if you
thing
break
I'm
it down
doing.
to like anything else, it's like it comes back to that bullying thing for me. It's like you really like sometimes stuff happens. And I'm like, did you take a look at me before you opened your mouth?
Like, call the law, dude. You
Like,
call
what
the
are you-
law on me.
what-
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I
what
feel
are
that
you
way about
doing?
anybody. If
Yeah.
you're a low down scumbag coward
Mhm.
enough to call the law on me and send them to my house, then that's when the game changes. That's
yeah.
when my
Now
game
Now
changes.
you've turned up
Like,
the heat.
okay.
Yep. Yep.
But you done barked up the wrong tree, because I don't really care about that law. I'm not doing anything that wrong. They're not gonna
See,
arrest
the
me.
thing about spending enough time around the law in the early years is you learn about the laws in the later
It's like,
years.
okay, like,
what do you-
and even if they did take me to jail, I ain't done nothing so wrong that I'm not
No.
gonna get bonded out. So
I'm
either
gonna
which
see you
way,
at 7 in the morning, and I'll be right back here.
yeah, like whatever. I'm
Yep.
still gonna be at the bus stop.
That's right.
I mean, I'm still gonna be at the bus stop. Well, this is my thing: is why would you even want to do that to your neighbor? Like, I'm
see.
your freaking neighbor, man.
I think there's a lot more to it that probably.
Let her come ask me for a cup of sugar and see what she get.
I don't even want. Dude,
Let her come ask me.
we'll edit that part out. Just in case something
No, I can
coincidentally
tell you.
happens to this individual.
They'll need me
Yeah.
long before I ever need them.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Promise
But
you that.
like I said, most of the time that comes from a place of, and it's not a defense for the person and their actions. I hope that
John,
they wise up.
My neighbors, the rest of my neighbors, would know.
Yeah.
I have get every child up on this hill, and
Yeah.
and I take even before my kids started school. Before he was on, if I was coming in and there was one of my neighbor kids walking up the road to go home, I would load them up, take them to their house and drop them off. And then once my kids started school, then if those kids got off the school bus, then I brought them back to the house. Several of them, I picked them up in the mornings on my way to take my boy to the bus,
Mhm.
and would take them down to the school bus. And then to have that huzzy do me that way, I was like, okay,
Well,
you just
people,
changed the ball game.
And I mean, lucky for her, it was you, and it wasn't like, I mean, they have friggin' shows on TV about like crossing your neighbor, like doing this exact thing. And look at some of the crap that happens when people do that.
It's like,
why?
well, and if you guys could just see the circumstance, I like CFM says, yeah, that's not cool calling the law on neighbors without talking first. And this is the whole thing. It's like her dad and I know each other. I've sat in that very park and that very driveway in that yard talking with her dad. Her mom knows my wife really well, been a family friend for years and years. My wife babysitted this young lady. Now, I don't know the girl, but I knew all this, but I didn't know her personally.
Right.
And then to just up and call the law on me, and it was the way she come at me down at the bar. I ain't gonna lie, man. She was trying to like tell me that I was gonna move. And I'm like,
you and
I
I
just
both
don't
know
think you're
there's a
gonna
way.
be able to make
there's
me
a,
do
there's
that.
a way. There's a way in saying something without
Yeah,
demanding it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, like, you know, brother, get on my damn property or I'll shoot
yeah.
you.
And then the color, don't you have? See, that's how she said. Well, don't you have a car? I said, yeah, I got a couple of them, but I also got a 4-wheeler.
Don't you?
And then she was like, well, I'm gonna call the law. You need to get out of my yard. And I'm like, this ain't really your yard. This is the school bus stop. This is where the kids have been getting the bus for 30
Leave the
years
kids
now.
alone. You've got enough
It's
of your
like-
own problems, miserable lady. Clearly,
I mean,
so
think
keep
about
them
it.
to
If she'll
yourself.
call the law on me sitting there, why
Oh,
wouldn't she
yeah.
call the law on my kids sitting
Of
there?
course you will.
I mean,
Right.
think about that.
Yeah, we
You
had
know,
one of those
it's-
in our neighborhood when I was a kid too. It was just like nothing better to do but sit in the porch and watch for anything, right? And call the cops on you anytime you were like
know what?
skateboarding. That was a big thing growing up. Skateboarding was illegal everywhere. Now you can skateboard wherever you want, but back then you couldn't just skateboard on the roads and do whatever. Who were you hurting? You weren't hurting no one.
Nothing.
And then dragging you home and being like, oh, here's another fine for skateboarding. Wonder what house it came from. And you just look down the road and you can see them looking at you through the binoculars. It's
Well,
like,
we
God,
live-
you know.
We live on the kind of hill, CFMs. We live on the kind of place that if you live here long enough, you're gonna get stuck. You're gonna have a hard time maybe getting back to your house because your ride's in a ditch or you're having an issue. And there's gonna come a time when I'm gonna help them. And I'm gonna help them because I'm a God-fearing man and I believe that is the right thing to do. But then they're going to have to realize that the man that I called the law on, the man that I was a butthole to for no reason at all, has now just pulled us out of the ditch and didn't charge us a dime. Has now salted this road or tried to help out when he really didn't have to. And I don't think he should have because I called the law on him, but he did. And I know that that day's going to come because I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be living here till the day I die. And if I can get it wrote up in law somehow that I'm buried right here, this is where I'll be buried too. I'll put my roots in. And, you know, there's going to come a day when her little wacko husband looks like Dumpy, and her little dumb self are going to do something stupid and they're going to be hung in the ditch. And my 4-wheel drive truck is going to come in handy because I can pull you out and I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to say anything about it, and I'm not going to charge you a dime, but I'm going to let you live and sleep on the fact that this is the neighbor that I called the law on. And I will remind them, like, you remember calling the law on me, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because the kind of place that I live in, there's going to come a day when I'm going down this hill, and they're going to be stuck in the ditch because they tried to pull out and their vehicle got away from them. Or they're going to be walking back up the main road because they couldn't get to their house, and I'm going to be coming in, and I'll see them walking, and they're going to realize that, man, that was the dude that I called the law on, man. Like, he would have give us a ride. Like, he stopped to ask us for a ride if we wanted a ride. And, that, you know, so it's coming back on them. And it's not, I don't have to do nothing. All I got to do is wait. All I have to do is let life be life. And one day, you're going to muck up. You're going to do something, and everybody does it on this hill. My mother-in-law, just a few years ago, my mother-in-law and my wife wound up at the bottom of the hill all stuck crazy, and it took a bunch of us to get the road salted and get a wrecker out here to get them out of the ditch and all this kind. There's going to come a time when they're going to have a problem, and they're going to really have to consider how they treated their neighbors and the fact that every neighbor on this hill would jump in and help them if we knew that they needed help.
Yeah.
Regardless. So I'm waiting on that moment. And that's when you get to have those without ever saying a thing moments where it's like, I put them in their place and never had to say a word.
Yeah.
You know?
Unspokens. Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
And because that's what you run into in these little places. Like, we're out in the country, guys. We're out in the country. Sometimes it may get to a point where you ain't got nothing but your neighbors, bro. Like,
Well, I've seen
seriously,
it
my
more
mom
than
and
enough
dad.
times, like growing up, man. Like, I mean, there was the fellas that lived at the top of the road. Like, we were, you know, dairy farmers and potato farmers, and they were growing tobacco back when that was legal, right? And there was always some kind of hoot and match between like the two families. Like, it was always something, warring about something, and then things would get out of hand, and an uncle do something to a piece of machinery. But when push came to shove, like, you know what I mean? Like, that would be set aside and the community would work together. I don't think that's entirely the way it is now, especially when you got a person who's like Like the things they were fighting about was land and like who could farm where and seeding issues and stuff like this, right? But to just pick a fight like into the sense of like for 3 feet of land that you're not damaging, you're not doing nothing to, makes me wonder like what is so horribly wrong in your world that this is the fight
That's-
you're picking?
Dude, that's how I felt. Was like, you know, I mean, you ain't got nothing better to do than to come out and get on to a fella that is clearly waiting on the school bus. That I've been doing this for
Like I'm not
10
down here
years now.
selling crack. I'm not here like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
It's like,
Hey,
dude,
come
are
on.
you serious? So I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you know, when you live in the country like this, then eventually there's gonna be some kind of something. They'll be stuck in a ditch. There'll be something,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be like, you know what? This is why you don't do this to your neighbors. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pull you out, but you remember me. You know exactly.
It's
what
gonna
you
be
did.
real slow. And I'm gonna
You know
look
exactly
you dead in
what
the
you did.
eyes while I do it.
Yeah. Well, I told her. I said, "Now look, I ain't arguing with you, woman. I don't argue with women. You tell your husband, your daddy, come up and see me.
Yeah.
I ain't. I told her. I said,
she's got a husband. Have you spoke to this fella?
oh no, man, he looks like Mr. Potato Head. No, man. Not that keeps
Who's
me from
Mr.
speaking to
Potato Head
him, but
again?
just
Oh, okay.
he does the old dumpy looking dumb thing. I don't know.
One
But
of
I
these
told her, I
guys?
said, now I ain't arguing with you no more. You send your dad, you tell your dad or your husband to come talk to me. We
Yeah.
ain't time, but I ain't moving. I ain't moving.
I ain't hearing
And
none of your
then she
sass.
sent the law
Yeah.
up here, and the law had the same exact last name as what they did, and I called him out on it. I'm
Mm.
like, now, buddy, I said, it's too small a town for you to try to convince me that you guys ain't
Badge
related
number,
in
rank, and
some way.
detachment, son.
Now,
'Cause I'm
I
about to
told
make
him,
a
I
phone
said, I
call.
better not find out that this is a personal call and not a law call. Oh, well, I said, because I was off the road. I said, now, I know that there's a distance off the road that's actually not, that's state maintained property. He said, yeah, but y'all live on a back road. I said, but it intersects a route. It intersects Route 61. I said, so let's get to measuring from that road. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
yeah,
CFM,
like-
you nailed it. Like that's I'm glad you said it because we're all thinking it. Who's wearing the pants in that situation?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
right.
hey,
You know what I mean?
because
Like,
it's-
yeah.
it's like this. If my wife felt strongly enough about something that someone did to call the law, and I come home and she said, well, he told me he wasn't talking to me. He said he wanted to talk to my husband. The first stop I'd have made after, all right,
That's
well, let
right.
me go talk to him.
Yeah.
Let's go see what the hell's going on. I
Yep.
want to hear what he's got to say.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever.
Right, 'cause,
but
like,
I told her.
Like one thing that I really like, you know, you realize as you get older is like 90% of the time this is a miscommunication problem, right? Like, so if you got somebody in your ear just chihuahua, and I call it all day, but you know, it's like this is stupid. You don't even know what fight you're in right now. So why
Yeah.
are you doing this? Why? Are you
But
doing
my
it?
thing is like, I know her daddy well enough to know that, okay, I mean, if you want to come up and play tough guy, we can do that. But the truth of the matter is, man, like, I wanted to talk to him. Like, you're the one that owns the property.
Mhm.
You've been seeing me get my kid on and off his school bus for the past 10 years.
Is
And every
there
kid that
or
lives
is
on
there
this
not
hill.
a problem? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
as
why
the
didn't you
landowner.
say something to me? Why do I
Well,
got
he
this?
probably
you know?
probably don't even know. Like that's
No.
you know what I mean. He don't even know.
He
Like,
knows now. you
Does
know.
he know now? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he knows now, but he ain't never been talked to.
Well,
And her husband ain't never been talked to me either, but I don't care. I drive past them every day, but it's like, that was my thing is like, look, I'm not
Yeah.
I don't argue with people's wives. I don't do it.
no.
I don't do it because
No.
words get mixed. Things
Uh-huh.
get said that was said that didn't get said.
Just
so
walk
I don't
away.
do that.
Here's
You
a
bring
moment
your
of
daddy up
sage
here.
advice.
Bring your daddy, bring
Yeah.
your boyfriend or husband or your
Mhm.
cousin, your brother, bring them all. Bring
Yeah.
them all. I got an old man and I've got some buddies that would be more than happy to throw down if that's what you really want.
Mm.
But all I was saying was like, look, I ain't talking to you no more. Like we and you done. I'm not moving nowhere.
No,
You
well,
can
because
just call
that's the other
law.
part of that equation is that the more that you say, the more that they got to chirp back, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, nah, I ain't giving you. Listen, this ain't grade 2. Figured that trick out a long time ago. You're on your own. Good luck.
Yeah. But I'm not. Hey, it made me. I ain't been that mad in a long time. But I truly got him. I got in one of those moments where it's like I don't give a damn how many law come up here. I'm gonna tell them the same. And then when he showed up here and had the same exact last name, I sat there and listened to
You
what he
should
had
at
to
least took
say.
his name tag off.
I had a cup of coffee in my hand, and I sat my cup of coffee down on the edge of the truck, and then I stepped over to him and I said, "Now, I see that your last name is Brown and their last name is Brown." I said, "Now, it's an awful small town, and you're going to have a hell of a time convincing me that this ain't a personal call."
Yeah.
And then he started, "No, this is no, that's not. You are clearly on their piece of property." I said, "Now, it depends on the road we're talking about, because the road that you're talking about ain't the road I'm talking about. I'm talking about the main route that the bus runs on. I have 10 feet that state maintained property that I'm allowed to be on, and I feel like I was within that. And I don't think she got a tape measure out to find out if I was within that. I wasn't going by the
No.
back road portion. I was going by off of the main road. It's an intersecting road." And that's when everything kind of went hum. And then I told him, I said, "Well, listen, no, I'm going to do things exactly the same way. And you can let her know not to waste the sheriff's office time, that she needs to go hire an attorney and sue me. Take me to court.
Yeah.
Take me to court. Go spend some of that money. Go trade off some of your EBT, whatever. Go sell some of your stamps off, whatever. But you're going to have to take
All
me to
right,
court."
we're getting, yeah. All right, so
I know that's the kind of, I know
Yeah,
what, I don't
yeah.
care.
no,
Like, whatever.
no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
That's what they, you know.
Don't give them.
But
the
that's
time,
what I
you
know, what
I
kind
mean?
of situation they're in. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, if that's the way you want to do, then I'll make you spend
As the
it.
headstones would say, because I see the reference there to the Canadian band. I smile and wave. Smile and wave. Yeah, that's what you got to do to them guys, man. Just
Got
smile
Elevated
and wave.
Einstein. Elevated. What's up, brother? Good to have you here. Got CFMs. Appreciate you guys being here, man. We got started rambling off as me and Sean. Well, I say me. I get started rambling, and that's just the way it is.
I
But
just like to point out the different things I think while he does it. It's a good time.
yeah. Maybe ag it on just a little, just a touch.
just a touch. It's salt
Hey, you'd have
and
been.
pepper.
Hey, you'd have been the same. I'm telling you, if you'd have been there.
Oh no, trust me.
You'd have been like,
I've been
"Dude,
through this situation one time. One time, this guy. Okay, so we had a property in the line of trees. Imagine this: these beautiful evergreen trees, right? About 40 of them, probably about 50, 60 years old. So he had a property and it had this shitty old shed on it. I'm gonna say it like that because that's all it was. And you know, root trees, like the trees, the roots grow down deep and they grow far, right? I come home one day after work and he's buzzed the back of my trees with a limber, right? Like to the bark. Because he said, "Oh, you're busting up my shit." That was one of the moments I had an axe in my hand because I was walking over to see like what he was doing. I was going to give him a hand. And then once I got around the property line, I seen what he had done. Now you killed all my trees.
Yeah.
That axe in my hand became something I had to walk away with very quick and like, you know, consult, because those are the kind of things where it's like, I've lived beside you for 15 years. You know what I mean? I brought you your mail. We've talked. There's never been a problem. And then you do something like that. And a buddy of mine just said, "Listen, man," he's like, let it go. And like, then it inevitably was what ended up happening. Some of the trees lived, but most of them died. And after that, it was just kind of like, what does it take for a person to do something like that and think it's okay and that you're not going to have some kind of repercussion, right? Because eventually, I don't forget. You know what I mean? I don't. So everybody gets theirs in time. It's just there's better ways of doing things, man. Better ways of doing things. So cooler heads shall prevail.
And
good
sometimes it's
vibes.
awful. Sometimes it's a lot of fun though to stoop about to their level and play. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
swear to you, I mean it with everything I love. I'm gonna keep doing things exactly the way I've been doing them.
Yeah.
And you'll just have to sue me if you feel it's worth it. Then go ahead, because I feel it's worth it. Go
Just
ahead.
put on your Sunday's finest and bring your A game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, sue me, man, because I'm not playing
Go
this
for
call
it.
the law, and you're gonna think that you scared me because I just don't care. Like, whatever, man. It's not. They can't really do nothing. Like, I didn't do nothing. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
no,
in the
it's-
grand scheme of things, any judge would be sitting there listening to a dad explain his explanation
It's
as
like,
to
why am I
that he sits
listening to
there.
this right
And
now?
it's going to be like,
Yeah.
woman, do you realize what an idiot you are? and that your kid's probably going to want to stand in the same place because it's the safest place.
Like, what,
You know what I
what
mean?
would you recommend? The yellow line? Should the
Yeah.
kids line up on the yellow
Like,
line? Like,
So please, that's what I tell you. I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I just think they're stupid.
well,
Yeah.
you know, and
And you can't
sometimes
fix
that's how you. Well, you can't fix stupid, and you can't fight crazy, but
You
maybe
can have fun with it.
You can. You can.
Hey, they might pull my whole card and sue the shit out of me. I don't know. What are they gonna sue? You can't get blood from a turnip. I mean, so it's like whatever.
I
Sue
never heard that before. It's always blood from a stone for me.
me. I mean, this ain't gonna work. It's like
No.
okay,
I
go
guess.
spend your $2,000 and then sue me for what? What are you gonna
Yeah.
get out of it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Take me to
Don't
court.
believe those court TV shows. You ain't getting nothing.
Yeah. And by the time they actually got everything done, well, hell, the bus, I'd already be done because my kid's just about out of school anyway. So I win. I don't care.
Win. That's what we
I
call a
don't care.
win-win here on the Guy
Yeah.
Shine Show. Monday,
Yeah, it's a
Wednesday, and
win-win.
Friday, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time.
Always
win,
good
baby.
vibes. CFL and Queens in the house. Peyton Samuels, shout out to you. Appreciate you being here. Elevated Einstein, brother. Appreciate you, man. Always good vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. We got Gen X Mom and Missy in the house. Good morning, Mom and Missy. Shout out to you.
Morning.
I love you. Scott,
Good
Scott,
afternoon,
and
John.
Old Fart Gaming in the house. Shout out to you, buddy. Appreciate you being here. And Mike Coachman, appreciate you stopping through, brother. Always good vibes, surviving together. We got Desi, brother Clint in the house. Bells and Stars stopped by and seen us. Magic of Healing stopped by and seen us. Appreciate every one of you guys.
baby.
Always good vibes. We have an outstanding community, bro. Like,
Oh,
like
yeah, man.
I
Yeah.
mean, dude, 2 hours worth of show and us being on here and
Yeah.
nobody having no kind of dumb stuff and everybody chiming in and just being a part of it. And that is what we are shooting for, guys. That's what we're doing it for.
Yeah.
So shout out to all of you guys, man. You guys, you make this. We're part of a great community here, and I think that we're proving to the world that, man, you can just be good to people, and
Yep.
you can still have a good time, and you can make fun, you can joke and laugh, but you don't have to be ignorant. You don't have to be
Yeah.
nasty or mean to people or anything like that. You don't
And
have
I
to
like
do that.
what CFM says, because that's where I was gonna go with. You can't fix stupid. You can't fight crazy, but you can evolve yourself if you choose, right? And that's again coming back to that create and change thing. So you nailed that. Excellent job. I agree with that fully, because I know I've experienced it myself, and I know Guy has too, which is why we do things the way we do it now, rather than the way we might have done it, 2 decades ago. So. It's
Yeah.
very well done. Yeah.
I like it, man. I like it. And sometimes, I'm a firm believer in what's good for the goose, good for the
Good
gander.
for the gander, baby.
And
Yep. Yeah.
if you and that's why I say just capping off talking about my name. Now I don't have no problem with them people. I think it was stupid
Nah.
what they did.
Nah.
But if you really feel that strong, if you're that convicted in your heart over it, sue me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Sue me because I ain't stopping.
Or resolve it.
Ain't going
Like,
nowhere.
that's the thing
Ain't going
I'd like to see is like, when we've all done dumb things, but it takes a person to be, a real evolved person, I guess, to show up and say, hey, that was stupid, and I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever words you want to use, you can use them the way you want.
Oh, if they
But-
rolled up on me and said, "Look, bro, I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid.
Yeah.
I was having a bad day," I'd be like, "Yeah, that was pretty dumb, but
Yeah, it
we're
wasn't
cool."
dumb, but we're
Like,
good.
yeah, I'd
We
be like,
move on.
"Man,
Life goes
like,
on, man.
I thought
Yeah.
I was really truly a gangster once I had the law show up over me sitting at the school bus stop." I was like, "Only gangsters really get, like
Yeah.
that's tough
That's
guy
it.
stuff right there."
Oh, that is.
That's
that
tough
is.
guy
And on a
stuff.
quad, oof, you're lucky.
Yo, dual card, sure.
You're probably
I mean,
gonna shoot a rap video or
Yeah, I'm
something.
just doing all kinds of tough guy stuff.
Yeah.
I ride around my neighborhood and just do tough guy stuff like that. I pull in at random bus stops and just sit there and take it over.
Just mean mug.
And I
people.
tell all of them, "Get out of my face! This is my bus stop."
Then I do some
and-
donuts and leave, and then I come back with a few more
pull a
donuts.
few donuts, man. I got this Bluetooth speaker that I blast through the neighborhood. And I don't
My
care who
name is
hears it.
Kid Rock.
That's right.
think we got Kid Rock on a quad, into the 10-9er on a 24 over cold,
Yeah, yeah. It's so fun, man.
ripping up
Yeah,
a
I
bus
swear.
stop. Yeah, pop up.
Hey, bless the crochet. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
She said,
birthday to you.
it's my birthday. Awesome.
Wow.
Well, happy
I hope
birthday.
you
to
enjoy your day.
Yes, absolutely. Good vibes. I'm glad that you stopped in and told us that. So
Excellent.
happy birthday to you. CFM's awesome to have you here. Appreciate you interacting. And Peyton Samuels. Peyton Samuels has a says, "What is your real name, Shine? You don't have to answer that if you don't want to."
Good, because I won't.
By KR. CFM by KR. Oh, okay, gotcha. I got
Yeah.
you. Peyton Samuels, hello. Hello, blessed. It's been a minute finally getting back to normal. That's the best birthday present I can give myself. It's been a rough 2.5 months. Well, we're glad to have you back. We're glad that
Yep.
you're feeling like being back,
Happy.
and happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah.
Always happy
Enjoy.
birthday to you. Guys, coming up on the end of everything, always good vibes to all of you guys, man. Guy and Shine 11 to 1, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
How'd you
Eastern
know,
Standard
Elevated? How'd you know? Duh.
Yeah.
It's actually
Cletus.
Chuck Lloyd. You can find me at chuckloyd.com and chuckloyd.com products or
That's right.
cletus.com, you know.
That's
So either one.
That's right.
Good vibes, guys.
Oh, Cletus.
Yeah.
Oh, Cletus T. Judd.
Hey,
My
Cletus,
name
get off
is
the
Cletus
damn
T.
roof.
Get off that roof.
Get off
Yeah.
the dang roof, Cletus.
Hey, Mom, you remember that one, it was some kind of little spoof or some kind of little short or something that I seen where dude's supposed to be up on his house doing the roof and he's sitting up there with a hammer in his chair had him a 12-pack up there on the roof and he just every once in a while beat on the roof and he's sitting up there. I was like, now
That's genius.
Genius level
Getting
stuff.
a
man.
tan, working it out. And
Yeah,
everyone's
and
happy.
he was in a position where the only way he could get caught is if Mama would climb up.
Yeah. Ask
You
me
ain't
no
gotta worry about
questions
it.
and I'll tell you no lies.
Yeah, I thought, man, that is so beautiful. That's perfect. That's so perfect. But guys, we appreciate y'all being here once again. Thank you guys. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Always good vibes with Guy and Shine. I encourage you. You can support at Shine Dig. You can support at Creating Change GB. Hashtag CC for you.
Yeah.
Always creating change, man. It's within all of us, and I think every day if we just recognize little chances that we get to affect change within our lives, you got to realize as family people or as people in relationships that you also are affecting those that are in your life by affecting change in your own. So shout out to everyone being here. We
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Appreciate
We'll be
y'all.
seeing you Friday,
Yeah.
11 o'clock to 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. For always good vibes, and we may be doing some evening stuff. You never know. And if you don't mind, come by and support during. Going to be doing a restreaming thing for the next little while, and try and
We're gonna get
some-
these hours
some
up,
stuff.
people. Get these
A
hours up.
workout. I
Get
mean,
these
I
numbers
see
up, man.
everybody else doing it, and
Yep.
and when
Yep.
it's part of the rules of the game, and you don't play by the rules, then it's your own
Oh,
fault
you
if
put
you
the
don't
work
get what
in,
you
man.
want.
Yeah, that's it. Hammer it out. Help it.
If the tool is there to use it, as I've said, if you can use it, then I say use it. If it's part of the rules and it applies, then that's what me and Shine are going to do. So
And if there is
Oh.
gray area, smash right through that thing. That's the motto, man. Get to it.
Yep.
So-
Use if it's part of the rule. Like
Yep.
I hadn't avoided it because I felt like it was wrong or anything. I just didn't really know how, and I didn't realize that man, you might as well get what
Yeah.
you can get. Get what you can get. Get them up there. Do what
They're
you gotta
getting what
do.
they're getting, regardless, right? That's
Absolutely.
So, remember that.
Absolutely.
Remember that.
So
Stay
use the
blessed.
tools that you got, guys. Use
Yep.
the tools that you got. Take care of everyone. CFM says that. We appreciate you, CFMs, and we appreciate all you guys being part of this
yeah.
community. Always good vibes to all of our beautiful people. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you here on Friday. Good vibes, everyone. I've been in a hurry since I don't know when. Gotta bring it on back. Start over again. Yeah, I'll bring it on back to a nice slow pace. The kind where a guy like me wins a race. Yeah, slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, bring it on back to a nice old place. The kind where a guy like me wins the race. Well, I got me a woman, yeah, she's better than most. Yeah, I get the space I need to really cut and loose. Yeah, she slows it on down to a nice old pace. The kind where a guy like me wins the race. You slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, bring it on back to a nice old pace. The kind where a guy like me wins the race. You slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, bring it on back to a nice old pace. The kind where a guy like me wins the race. Yeah, slow it down. Slow it on down, guys. Good vibes only to you. Always good vibes. Always good vibes only to all of my beautiful people out there. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.